All right, hi guys. I hope everybody's being well over this wonderful break. We are going to I'm just going to give you a couple little things to kind of help you out with a hypothesis practice. This is definitely something that you should have done in your science classes since about fourth grade, is writing a good hypothesis. We are going to definitely be using this a lot for our medical detectives class, so please make sure that you understand how to write a hypothesis. This is not a difficult worksheet, so it's definitely something that you should be able to complete pretty easily. I'm going to do maybe like the first two with you here, and then the rest of them, just do your very best on them. Okay, so essentially, if you want to write a good hypothesis, you need to make it in an if-then format here, okay? So please refer to this as you're working through your worksheet, okay? So, the reason why we're doing this in this format is because essentially when you write a hypothesis, you're trying to figure out, how to solve a problem. You're making kind of like a prediction as to what you think is going to happen. Okay, so the way that you want to pose your question is you want to make sure that you're only posing one question, and you want to make sure that you have something that you can test, because if you make your hypothesis and it's not testable, like you don't have a way to carry out the experiment, it's not a good hypothesis. Okay, so right up here where you have this if-then statement, you should always start it off with the word if, and then you're going to describe what you will do in the experiment. Okay, so if I do this, whatever it is that you're going to do, okay, then this is going to happen. Okay, you're going to predict the outcome of your experiment. So depending on what your experiment is, you have to, kind of, I don't want to use the word guess, because you should kind of, have an idea of what you think is going to happen. But you're going to, make that as an if-then statement. Okay, so if I take a look at my first question here, okay, or my first statement rather, it says chocolate may cause pimples. Maybe we've heard that before. It's like, oh, you get your parents telling you, they're like, if you eat too much chocolate, it's going to make your face break out. Okay, well, we can actually test that. We can test to see if that occurs. Sounds like a great test, something I would like to try. Bring on the chocolate, right? Okay, so if we're going to test this, and we're going to write this as an if-then statement, okay, I need to think about, what I am going to do in the experiment. Okay, so you might want to think about, how would I go about testing this? Okay, well, probably the easiest way is to eat some chocolate and see if your face breaks out, right? So if I'm going to put that in an if-then statement, I'm going to say, if I eat chocolate. Okay, so here's my if statement. Okay, then I have to figure out what I think is going to happen. Okay, then my face will break out in pimples. Okay, I'll put my face will get pimples. Okay, I can test that, right? I can test that. I can get myself some chocolate, I can eat it, and I can wait, and I can see if my face breaks out because I ate the chocolate. Okay, now, that's not the only way that I can write this. Okay, so I can write it a different way. Okay, I can also test if I don't eat chocolate, then my face will get pimples. Okay, I can insert that. If I don't eat chocolate, then my face will get pimples. Okay, I can test that too. I can also say, if I eat chocolate, then my face will not get pimples. Okay, that is also another one. I mean, obviously you would write that out in a complete sentence and not just put your little arrow and insert not. Okay, but those are three different ways that you can write it. You can also do this. If I don't eat chocolate, then my face will not get pimples. Okay, all four of those ways are testable ways of saying your hypothesis. Okay, so you can write any one of those particular sentences, and it's a correct hypothesis. Okay, it's a correct way to write the hypothesis. okay? So I don't care which one you want to write. You pick one that makes you happy, okay? All of those are testable. So that's the most important part, is that it's testable, okay? Now, the other part of this worksheet is that you underline the independent variable once and the dependent variable twice. Now, here's the thing. There's a little saying that was in the notes. If you looked at the notes already, there's a saying that says the dependent depends on the independent. Okay, and here's the kicker on this. If you take out this word and this word from the sentence and you put in your variables and you connect your variables with depends on the whatever, okay, you are always, always, always going to get your variables right. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose, let's see, orange. I'm making this up as I go along. Orange and purple. How's that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I actually like to do my dependent first. I'm going to underline my dependent variable twice. Okay, so I'm going to do a double line for my dependent variable, and I'm going to do a single purple line for my independent variable. Okay, so if I take a look at my hypothesis, okay, and I think, okay, what in this sentence depends on the other? Okay, is it eating chocolate depends on if my face will get pimples, or my face getting pimples will depend on if I eat the chocolate? Okay, so think about that here for a second. Okay, you should be thinking to yourself. Okay, now the answer is here, okay, is going to be my face will get pimples. Okay, your face getting pimples, okay, is going to depend on whether or not you eat the chocolate. Okay, so my dependent variable is that my face will get pimples, okay, depends on, okay, eating the chocolate. Okay, so that is how you go about doing this worksheet. Okay, and I'm sure you guys are going, please do one more, please do one more. So I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do the second one. Okay, plant growth may be affected by the color of light. Okay, so if I write my if-then statement, okay, think about what is depending on what. Okay, typically speaking, my dependent variable is the after, my independent is first. Okay, so if I do this, then this is going to happen. So if, let's say, this is just one way of doing it, you may have come up with a different one. Just make sure that it makes sense. So if I say, if I use, and you can pick a color of light. So this says the color of light, okay? If I use red light, okay, then I have to predict what's going to happen. Okay, then, let's see, by plant growth, I got to think about plant growth. Then my plants will not grow, okay? Okay, that's just one way of doing that, okay? If you want to, you can change the color. You can say if I use purple light or blue light or yellow light or green light or whatever, then you need to tell me what you think is going to happen. You can have it one of two ways. You can say my plant will not grow, or you can say my plant will grow, okay? You can also say my plant will grow faster, okay? Or you can say my plant will grow slower or more slowly, okay? There's lots of different ways you can answer this question, all right? This is just one way, all right, of doing this thing. You just got to make sure that it's testable, okay? So let's figure out our variables then, okay? So if my dependent depends on my independent, okay, what's depending on what? So whether or not my plant is going to grow in this situation. So the plant will not grow is going to depend on if I use a red light. Oh, I got to change my color. If I grow it in a red light. Okay? That's all you have to do It's very, very simple. Okay, and again, you should have had practice doing these things in science class, right? So just go ahead and work through the rest of the worksheet. Do your very, very best. If you want to, on your Google Classroom, if you want to, use different colors of highlight for your variables, like you want to use, like a, purple for independent and yellow for dependent or something like that because you're having a hard time, like you can't underline it twice or something like that, I'm totally okay with that. Okay, just do me a favor on your Google Classroom sheet. Just use the highlight color that you use for your dependent variable, and then use the highlight color and like highlight these with the colors that you're going to use. Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. All right. Okay, well, I hope that that was helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at school, and hopefully that will work. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.